Welcome back to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I'm Violet Hausthor, joined this week with our special guest, Robin Johnson from the Stone Church up in Brattleboro, Vermont. Robin also put together this entire playlist of incredible artists from the area. And you just heard Jarv with Getting You Up to Speed. Before that, Thus Love with Put On Dog. And starting off that block, Witch with Soul of Fire. Really eclectic block here. I really liked it. Let's start things off though with Jarv out of Windsor, Vermont. That's whoa. I didn't know they had too many rappers up in Vermont.
From the deep well of Vermont hip hop. Yeah, we don't do a ton of hip hop at the church just because it's hard to find good hip hop locally. Sure, there's great legacy artists that are like touring through occasionally,
Mhm.
but to find like local homegrown hip hop that's really good is kind of hard in this area. But when I was introduced to Jarv, I was just blown away. We had a hip hop night, and there's varying levels going through, and then Jarv closed the night, and he's just obviously on a whole new level. The speed and the creativity and cleverness of his lyrics, really, really incredible. And just he'll take the crowd, and it's one of those things with just one single person on stage, and he can have the entire room moving and following his every word.
Yeah, the technique here is incredible. I hear like influences from artists like Watsky in stuff like this with that same level of creativity and artistry and the lyricism, especially. There's so much humor that it goes into, good rap. And so you have to be very clever in particular about your lyricism and the techniques that are borrowed from that you clearly hear in Jarv's work. Very
Yeah.
technical rapper in the best way, really a master of what he's doing. And then of course before that, out of Brattleboro, Vermont, Thus Love. Oh my God, I love this. The just incredible punk sound without losing polish or clarity at all. It's just, whoa, this blew me away.
Yeah, they're some of our besties for sure. They've been like some of them work occasionally at the venue when they're not touring the world. And they're a perfect example of what's really the best thing about having a music venue is to watch artists grow up in the venue. I remember the first time they played, they were called I Love You, mainly different lineup. Lou, their drummer, it was his first gig playing with them. I vividly remember being like, wow, this group's kind of all over the place, but that
Sure.
that singer is bringing something that you can't teach. And then they came back 3 months later, brought them back. They were leaps and bounds better. We had them another 3 months after that, and it was incredible. Every time they came back, the improvement, the skill was just like it was something to watch, like how fast they were improving. And then we knew, within that first year that they were going to just explode. And they have since, and now they're, touring the world. We
Yeah,
love them.
they are so incredible and so willing to play in so many different styles and spaces and with so many different influences with such a real DIY root behind it all. It's incredible.
We do have a date for them. They'll be back on March 2nd.
And then, of course, starting off that block, Witch from Amherst, Massachusetts, obviously featuring some incredible local acts like Jay Mascis, Dave Sweetapple, and Kyle Thomas, aka King Tough. It's Witch. These guys do some incredible stuff. Obviously, Jay Mascis is huge, but he has this fun little project on the side that came out with a few releases back in the mid 2000s, and I've always thought it was incredible.
Yeah, and the wild thing there is he's on drums, which apparently was his original instrument. So he's put
Wild.
away the stacks and he gets behind the kit. And then Kyle plays guitar with Dave on bass. And then Graham Cease is the other guitarist. We just had them for the first time at the church in December. And
Oh,
Cease lives in Australia, so he couldn't make it. And they roped in Graham Brooks. So we had three Brattleboro residents in the band. Graham is a guitarist from the sludge metal band Barishi. So that super group played on the solstice, and I'm working hard on them. They all had a great time, and fingers crossed we can make it an annual event and have a witch miss every year.
That would be so cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously, they're so incredible with that like classic sludge rock sound, that Sabbathy sound. It's clearly a super group filled with masters of their craft. And that sort of thing shows in the composition.
like I said, we were very adaptable and everything kind of fits in the church, but
Mhm.
it's those sludge rock, heavy psychedelic shows in there that a lot of us feel like are the best thing that we do.
Honestly, I could see it. There's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. Hearing that sort of sound in that sort of space. So thank you for joining us here, Robin. Is there anything else you'd like to plug about the Stone Church or any more upcoming shows that we have?
Right around the corner, we have our Girls to the Front program, where it started out of a one-day event years ago, and the last 2 years we've run it as a month-long program in March, where all the artists are female fronted, or including trans, non-binary, as well. So that's coming up. We've got That's Love. I mentioned Cool Cool Cool. It's playing that month. They're members of the band Turquoise on the 13th of March. Yeah, we're really excited. We're closing out the Girls to the Front month with 2 nights of Rubble Bucket on the 30th and 31st. So that is going to be really exciting. And then the other thing I want to plug is we're moving our Field Day Festival from Guilford, Vermont to Northampton, to get into the big city. And the Field Day Festival is really centered around young, up and coming, what's next music. And we always like to focus a lot of energy on these bands coming from out of Northampton and Brattleboro and Burlington, and the focus on that new what's next vibe.
Well, thanks for visiting with us, and we hope you enjoyed some great original music from Western New England artists. I'm Violet Hausthor, and as I said, I was joined this week by Robin Johnson, our special guest from the Stone Church up in Brattleboro, Vermont. The New Music Alliance Radio Hour is brought to you by the New Music Alliance, a 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to assist and advance the careers of talented, creative local musicians who write original music, and to promote the extended Western New England area as a destination for original music writing, production, and performances. If you like what we're doing here on the show, tell your friends about it and like the New Music Alliance and the Radio Hour on our Facebook pages. And don't forget to check out our website, newmusicalliance.org, where you'll find the extraordinary Essential Western New England Songbook, a listenable anthology of many of the best songs ever written by artists from Western New England. And while you're there, if you support the New Music Alliance's mission, we'd appreciate your making a donation or becoming a member or a sponsor. If you're a local Western New England musician who'd like to have your original music considered to be on our show, send links to your songs to newmusicalliance@gmail.com. Join us next week for more great tunes from Western New England artists. And as always, until next week, please stay safe and keep on listening to great original local music. And let's have Charles and Khalif Neville take us out today with African Eyes.